You're now listening to the Shipper's Toolbox, presented by Refund Retriever. All right, guys, this is Brian from Refund Retriever, and today we're talking with Tim from SellerActive. SellerActive, they're a multi-channel management platform that's going to help sell lots of different places. I know with Refund Retriever, we don't see where a lot of people sell most of the time. We just see the packages going out on their FedEx and UPS accounts. So we're trying to go a little bit more upstream to give you some more tools and help you manage your inventory and save more money across the board. So, all right, thank you for joining us today. All right, so tell us about SellerActive. What does SellerActive do?
Yeah, no, thanks for having us, Brian. So SellerActive is a multi-channel management platform that helps e-commerce businesses grow their product reach across marketplaces without having to manage individual channels. So with SellerActive, we integrate seamlessly to, Amazon, eBay, Walmart's, the BigCommerce, Shopify's, Etsy, Newegg, all these various channels to kind of be that centralized hub to make sure to keep your inventory synchronized. So if you're selling on one marketplace, a lot of sellers this past year with, Amazon, they had a need to, get on other markets to diversify, to increase their product reach with all the restrictions. So that's a very common case we run into is, sellers, they need a simplified way to manage inventory and then also scale their business. So if you're going from marketplace to change your inventory levels, to list your products, to manually reprice your inventory, that's not a very efficient model. So we want to try to make that.
Let me stop you. How big of an impact was the restrictions on Amazon for your sellers? I mean, how many of them really ran into some major issues? I mean,
I think it was about this time last year's, March, April is when Amazon, the FBA restrictions really kind of came to hammer down. You had, almost half our sellers that were running into FBA, and you're talking 1,000 clients. So you look at half your client base run into FBA restriction issues. Well, now we had an integration with a 3PL like Deliver, which kind of allowed our clients to, send products, not be restricted as much with their inventory levels. So they didn't skip a beat as much there. And the big key factor was we saw the rise of Walmart come this year, which, a lot of our sellers who were strictly on Amazon, our ability to simply input their Amazon data and transfer that quickly over to Walmart. Our sellers not only thrived during COVID, they found a very new way to diversify, not just fulfillment wise, but, a new revenue stream that kind of opened their eyes.
Cool. So, you have these different marketplaces. If I have a seller that's shipping, like an e-commerce that kind of sources his product from other people, or maybe they sell individually made products, or, well, I guess my kind of question is, how should sellers determine what marketplace they should be on? Because I'm sure every seller should not be on every marketplace. So yeah, I guess you have a kind of a, like, what are the top marketplaces, and I guess what types of sellers should be on all marketplaces, and which ones should kind of be more dialed into certain marketplaces for what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I mean, we take sellers of all models there. So we service brand registered sellers, we service resellers, we service drop sellers. So our tool, in general, our ability to attach to pre-existing listings in our platform, you can upload a Excel file or do our catalog search function, which we actually go out there, we'll search Amazon, eBay, Walmart to see if these items exist, and then really just kind of attach to these listings for a quick process. We also do content optimization and, PIM service management. So for a private label seller, a brand registry seller who needs to create a new listing, we can do that as well. In terms of a category wise, Amazon, you can sell anything on Amazon. If you're a brand new seller, obviously you're going to spend a little more time with SEO, keyword optimization, and kind of building up that marketing budget. eBay, we get a lot of people getting on eBay who sell refurbished, used items, but they're heavy in, very big shoes category. Walmart, Walmart actually surpassed eBay this year in terms of GMV for our client base. So that's been
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
been, that's kind of a big deal.
It's It's a big deal. Yeah. Especially when you get a big tool that, kind of takes you over. So Walmart's coming out with their WFS. It's their Walmart Fulfillment Services. So last year, 2020, they had only restricted, I think, about 100 sellers as kind of a test use case, which this year they increased that a tenfold to 1,000 sellers. So it's basically their version of trying to compete with Amazon Prime. So I mean, in terms of Etsy, we integrate with Etsy. If you follow Etsy, you see that, stock price has gone through the roof this year. They've really kind of been the new big player in the industry, allowing sellers to sell more than just hand goods. Newegg, electronics, if you specialize in electronics, that's another good one. So we kind of service, an array of sellers that allow them to really kind of specialize and get their products wherever they want and not have to, spend the tedious time to list it there or here or worry about overselling. That's the easiest way to get kicked off these marketplaces is, somebody buys it on Amazon. Well, you need to go to eBay, take it down. Our software is going to automate that process. So you don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking back, we went to the eBay Live or eBay Open in Vegas, the last one they had. They kind of mentioned a fulfillment model that Amazon was bringing on. Did anything ever happen with that, or?
I think there's still a little discussion. I don't think everything really came of that. And I know there's other 3PLs they probably recommend, but I don't believe.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I don't think anything really came of that.
Yeah. So, moving the pricing models around, I guess the moving the pricing and then the updating the inventory on each platform when something sells, that's a huge benefit of what you guys do. What are some, I guess, what are the overall benefits of you guys, of using SellerActive?
Yeah. I mean, the main benefit is just, becoming more efficient in how you run your business, so we start with any type of seller, whether it's a brand new seller who hasn't even sold on the marketplaces yet. Being a, preferred technology partner, we have contacts at Amazon, at Walmart. So we get these new seller launch programs. If you're a brand new brand that hasn't really taken your product, to the marketplaces yet, it's a good little in we have with these big marketplaces to get you account managers at Amazon to get you brand approval quicker. And then, it comes down to just scaling your business and diversifying in an efficient manner. So, if you're coming to SellerActive and you just have a website, well, now you want to get on Amazon quickly, we do that. The next kind of iteration is just quickly getting that product over to eBay, Walmart. So our system allows you to really just kind of automatically take that listing. We've mapped the category trees and all these channels. So instead of having to fill out every little granular requirement per category and per marketplace, we just simply are able to transfer the data and the coding we've built.
Nice. Now, I know you said efficiency, and whenever we deal with people, efficiency a lot of times equals change, and people don't like change. So I guess how much, pushback do you have from a typical seller? Do they see, a lot of people, they when they see their inefficiencies for like what we do, they have a reason that they're doing that, or there's something else, and a lot of times it's kind of a personnel issue. So I guess how much are you able to increase efficiency without really making their physical daily tasks different? I know a lot of what you're doing are, like mapping the actual, what do you say? Mapping the tree
categories. The category trees between the marketplace requirements. Yeah.
And whenever somebody brings SellerActive on, is there ever any, reduction in personnel at certain places? Do you ever see that happen, or is it more of a retraining of current personnel?
I think it's a retraining, but also a way to free up hours to do more tasks like product research or customer service. So, just a couple clients, I think, one of our customer success stories, make an account, Brian over there, he basically was taking him 2 to 3 weeks to create 100 listings at a given time. And I think it, came to us and it took him, 12 to 14 hours to create 100 different listings on 3 different marketplaces. And one of our clients who left a customer success story said they're saving one of their employees 100 hours a month of just processing orders by consolidating. So it's basically, yeah, taking you a little out of your comfort zone, but, kind of to go back to the point this year is, people were forced to, they needed to diversify from
Yeah.
Amazon, and now they're reaping the benefits of that. And it's an efficient model in terms of, we're not just going to sign somebody up and disappear either. We have training webinars, phone, chat, email support. You can call us for help. So it's, a little bit of a learning curve, but that's a unique advantage too, is most of our clients, they come to SellerActive. It takes maybe an hour or two to import all their current catalog. Then we'll have clients go live with the software in a matter of a day or two at the most.
Okay. At a day or two. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have, so what is the cost for SellerActive? I mean, I'm sure there's a very cost efficient way, and then if they want to do a lot of the work itself, but all of your, what does it cost for you guys? Let me start there before I have other questions.
Yeah. So we're actually launching our free trial here in about 2 to 3 weeks. So somebody's going to be able to come on board and just get in there, test it out for a month, and make sure it's a good fit. Right now, you go to our website, schedule a demo with someone like me, and we'll kind of do a walkthrough, which we'll still do. But it starts at $79 a month. That's a flat monthly fee. We don't have any setup fees. We don't have any transaction or overage fees. We don't have any contracts. So it's a flat fee just based off your current sales volume. So for example, less than $10,000 sales can be $79 a month. You want to add on the repricer tool, that's an extra $50 a month. So in terms of,
You kind of
time,
build what they want.
yeah. So as you grow, we kind of grow in the pricing model, which, the more traffic your business is getting, the more tax it is on our software. So it's kind of the model. We don't want to take any percentage of sales. We don't like that model. We want you to take that profits you're getting. So we're just going to take a flat fee based off, how well you guys do. And, the better you do, the better we do.
Nice. Question?
Do you have a size requirement for your sellers, or when does it make sense for a seller to implement SellerActive?
Yeah, so it's kind of all over the board. I mean, typically we want you to be on at least one marketplace, but you want to expand to another marketplace. So you have to have this idea that you're ready to grow your business and scale your business. So at least one marketplace. If you only have 1 to 2 SKUs, may not be the best fit, because you could probably manage inventory if you only have a limited catalog size. At the same point, we do professional services. So if somebody wants to come to us to work with our relations we have at Amazon to build out their catalog for them with our professional services team, we can take a brand new seller who's never sold on the marketplaces. So usually it would make sense to be on at least more than one channel, but we do help new sellers launch as well.
The professional services, is that, I guess, kind of you look at everything as a whole, then give, I guess, pricing and recommendations on what you guys are going to do, and I guess the effect it's going to have on people?
Yeah, I mean, you can think of it that way also. If, you have a brick and mortar store who doesn't have a ton of experience in, working with these marketplaces, we'll get them in contact with Amazon, with reps over other markets, and then we'll actually physically build out their catalog for them. So it can save time. If you don't have the labor on your team to, do a lot of the work, that's something we offer now, is, taking on that work for our clients to take those projects.
You can be the workhorse and the ambassador to all these channels.
Exactly.
Nice.
So going back a little bit, how long does it take for a seller to get set up with SellerActive and running on all the marketplaces, basically?
Yeah, so if they're already selling on these marketplaces, they sign up with SellerActive. It takes about an hour to 2 at the very most to import all of their listings. Then they kind of go through our video tutorials, our live training webinars that we have, call into our support implementation team. So we have clients who go live with just our repricing technology within a matter of hours. But we like to say, a day or 2 at the most is a good average. If it's a little more enterprise business that maybe have a back end ERP or a current inventory system that, maybe they need to bridge into our REST API, the enterprise sellers, that could take, maybe a week, 2 at the very max.
So whenever somebody comes on, you onboard them. I guess one of my questions is, what are the biggest mistakes kind of that you see that, that somebody coming in there, other than not being able to manage the inventory or do the pricing, you see any big mistakes that a lot of sellers make that kind of, we see that like with our clients whenever they're shipping FedEx and they're shipping ground home delivery wrong, and it's just like every time we open it up, we're like, yeah, they're doing this wrong. Is there anything that kind of pops out like that for you guys whenever you're bringing on a new client that, here's a red flag where if you see this, we need SellerActive?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of, taking the time to really learn all the, applications within the application itself. I think when we do an account review, we'll look at somebody's account and wonder why they're not using the repricing technology when we see direct competitors that can help them increase sales, or they may not know how to use kits or bundles in our application, which can be a very good strategy to increase sales, even lower shipping costs when you bundle items together. So I think one, contact us. If you're using the application and you have a general question, or we provide that level of support. We want to make sure our clients are getting the full capacity or usage of our application. So I think that's probably the biggest thing is make sure you know how to use it. I mean, it is a very intuitive, self-service type of software, but there's a lot of little things within the applications. We are the experts in how we use it, so we do provide that support to make sure you get the real value out of it.
Now, you talk about somebody not using the repricing tool that you have, the technology. Now, we've gotten into the Amazon world a little bit ourselves here. And we know, so I've done a little bit of research, but not having, I guess, my own account or selling on Amazon ever. So a lot of things, whenever I'm learning something, not having the knowledge of actually using something, kind of it hinders my understanding of things. So this Amazon Buy Box of putting can you explain exactly what this buy? I mean, I have a kind of a basic concept of understanding, and the problem is I'm on Amazon so many times a day buying stuff that
Same here.
I probably use the Buy Box all the time, don't even know it. But explain to us what this Buy Box is exactly, and what your repricer can do, I guess, to get you in that buy box. And that's an important thing, and that's something that, I'm sure your your SEO keyword research, Amazon buy box is a big thing. So tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, 82% of all sales come through that buy box on Amazon. So if you're a reseller and don't own the buy box or aren't using a repricing technology, you're definitely missing out on sales.
You're out of the game, right? If you don't own the buy box.
Yeah. So what we did is, it's not only a race to the bottom. I think that's kind of a common misconception, is it's all about price, which it's a heavy weight in the algorithm, but, also feedback, having great feedback, fulfillment speed, being an FBA, you're going to sell at a higher price and still get the buy box. So there's many factors within obtaining that. And what our technology allows you to do is, throw in your cost of the products, plug in your specific profit margin. So we never go too high. We never go too low. We auto jump your price within certain rules. If there's no more qualified competitors, you can even say, hey, don't compete against seller XYZ. So there's a lot of rules within the rules we have to make sure you're constantly maximizing your share that buy box. So when you set that up, you just set it, let it run, and it's repricing 24/7, 365.
Okay. Now, does the buy box change, I guess, for people's location on Amazon? So will my buy box here in Houston be different from somebody's in San Francisco on a certain product? Does the location also have an issue for that, or?
I don't think it's as heavily as weighted. I think there are changes that they constantly make towards the buy box. If you think of it from a geographical perspective, if Amazon has a fulfillment center in Houston and one of their sellers are in Houston versus, another location, they may save money off their own shipping costs. So that may be certain measurements within the algorithm they don't fully share, but no, just the buy box in general, we're going to try to maximize that, constantly mirror it. Now also touching on that, Walmart has their own buy box now. So we also have a buy box strategy for Walmart. We built into their new webhook API based pricing notification late in Q4 last year. And, just from a general GMV comparison, our sellers, before we added in this new feature, we're getting about 10% of that revenue on that same SKU from Amazon. That figure jumped up to 31% of that same SKU on Amazon. So when we added in that repricing for Walmart, our sellers was a huge game changer for them once we got that in place.
I think Elahi has a question real quick.
So you talked a lot about kind of the product creation and multi-channel listing. Can you touch on the product data mapping a little bit that you guys offer?
Yeah, so that's kind of one of the diverse things about SellerActive is, instead of just being a reseller and uploading a UPC, you can also import a file with all of your rich product data, titles, descriptions, bullet points, images, and then also modify that and have unique content specific to marketplaces. So when sellers come in there, they can take a look at their data. We do what's called a stage listings, which essentially creates a draft before we publish it out, which just really kind of takes all of your data from one marketplace, maps all the correct fields to another, and then just kind of allows you to either publish it out after that, or if you want to kind of clean up some data, change it, make a title a little different on Walmart than Amazon. We do allow a little more product kind of modification for our private label or brand registry sellers.
Okay, so there's more flexibility with that then.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
I'm on your website right now. So the basic versus the pro plans.
Yeah.
What's the difference in these two? Like,
yeah, I mean, you can look at
other than the price. Why am I going to pro plan? Is it just the GMV?
Yeah, the GMV, and also we provide a dedicated account manager for our pro plans for the first 90 days. So if you are in one of our upper tiers, you may have a little more of a custom, sophisticated, integration sometimes with an ERP or an inventory system. So we just give a little more dedicated account managers for those first 90 days for the pro tiers.
And a lot of times that people might come over to you from a competitor of yours that it's doing kind of the same thing. I know moving from a fresh client that has never done this before to your platform is easy. What if somebody wants to come over from a competitor? What's the, I guess, or what is involved in that? And do you do anything above what your competitors are actually offering right now?
Yeah, good question. So in terms of the most common use case, we get competitors coming over. It's the sophistication and diversity of the offering we have. A lot of competitors just do listing. A lot of competitors just do repricing. So they may want to eliminate one software and just use one software to do the work. So that's probably the common use case is I don't want to pay, 2 or 3 different softwares where you guys can do all the above. So that's probably the most common, I think. And then in terms of your other question, coming over from competitors, I'd say 90% of our clients probably end up making a switch at that point. And what we do is we import everything in a sandbox environment, meaning we're going to get everything ingested. We're not going to change price or quantities or really affect anything until you turn the other system off. Then we have a setting that's an outbound setting, which actually kind of takes over and goes out there and recollects the most recent market data. So we don't want to affect inventory or anything going on in your day-to-day operations. And then when you're ready to make the switch, we can quickly react to gather the most recent data on the markets.
Nice. One of my questions I had is Walmart. They've weren't very a big part of the market for a while, and then they acquired Jet, right?
Yeah, they acquired Jet.
They acquired Jet, and now they're moving. So where do you see, like, on your website right now, I see integrations, Amazon, eBay, Walmart. When is Walmart going to go above eBay on your kind of your integration list? When do you think that's going to be a factor where Amazon, they haven't had a competitor for quite a while, and it's good and bad, because they're able to do some pretty interesting stuff, but you always need that competitor. When do you think Walmart is going to be a legit competitor? And also one thing I know about Walmart that like I have one of the Sam's. We use a lot of stuff here in the office for Sam's, and we have the Sam's Prime membership where we get free delivery. When are they gonna, I guess, do you think they're gonna bleed that over into the Walmart family to kind of give like Amazon, where I think Walmart's my I guess mental block from buying something on Walmart is that it's a kind of a department store. When do you think they're going to pull a lot of their other channels into Walmart and then have their third parties selling on it and really be a, a legitimate threat to Amazon? I think they're a threat right now, but when do you think they're going to, affect Amazon's bottom line? Do you see that as something coming on, or do you think Amazon's just going to rule for the next few years?
I mean, it's tough to, compete with Amazon. I think, the trend has been from Amazon over the, years going more towards, branded sellers, their own, their own catalog, creating their own items, even though third-party sellers still make up a really good chunk, probably over 50% of their revenue still. The time is now, though, to get on Walmart. I mean, like I said, it surpassed eBay. I think it even surpassed eBay this year in general in total GMV sales. So it is kind of become that number 2 marketplace out there. From a percentage basis, I believe they grew year over year bigger than Amazon, obviously not dollar wise, but percentage wise, they're growing a lot faster. So if there's anybody, you look at the infrastructure of how Walmart is built, they already have fulfillment centers in place that would essentially compete with FBA. So that is, it's there. If they would have done this 20 years ago where Amazon did it, things may be different today for them. So the infrastructure is there. I think if anybody can at least take a chunk
Amazon
of that
might still be selling books.
yeah. So
if they did, I mean, I agree.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think the time is now. I don't know if anybody can ever take over Amazon, but if there's anybody that can take a chunk out of, a revenue stream, it's there. They have the exposure, they have the brand name, it's a great channel to get on right now.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a Walmart app. I think they're going to rebrand. That's just my own, Walmart has a different connotation to a lot of people. And I think they'll rebrand, or they might, do it like a little bit smarter, bringing in, the other Walton brands and pulling them all together. And also there's an added benefit, I think, of being able to go and pick something up. You can look on Amazon and get something. It's going to be there in 1 day. It's going to be in 2 days. It's going to be there in a week. Where with Walmart, I can look to see what's my closest Walmart. Is it in stock there? And it's the same price. I think that's a value add that is kind of an intangible right now, but there's so much, I guess, e-commerce and electronic shopping that there's a certain segment and also a certain amount of people that are going to want to go to Walmart. Let me just see the things that I can pick up at Walmart right now, and then have the whole thing. So, I mean, it's interesting of, is my local Walmart going to become a distribution center? Half of it be Walmart, and then they're going to build another building next to it, and then it's a straight pickup. And, like Amazon will deliver something in 2 hours for a certain price. Well, maybe I can just pick up from Walmart in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what's going on right now.
Yeah, but it's that BOPIS model, buy online, pick up in store. That's a unique niche that they have, and Target has excelled at doing that model the past couple of years, which has been a big portion of their business growing. So I think Walmart does have a few different advantages in there, and it's not going to hurt to grow to more marketplaces. The more opportunity you give, your sellers to sell their product, baby boomers in general. I mean, that was the fastest growing online group of purchasers this past year, is people who had never shopped online before. And then a huge value add to Walmart was that exact dynamic right there. So yeah, they're positioned pretty well to, keep growing in the future here.
So we got the big 3 marketplaces. What's the next up and comers in your opinion?
Just the data we get, demand, for Etsy's been a big one. They've done very well during the, COVID here in terms of, people going in there, creating their own mask, whatnot, but also able to diversify kind of, the checkout where you buy a couple different items now. So that's been growing a lot. It's tough to say. I mean, you never know when Google is going to get in the game. Google has all the data, the analytics of what people are searching for. So, eventually Google is going to be coming up and trying to take a, chunk of that revenue. So I anticipate anybody comes up and does something, probably Google will have some type of marketplace here too.
Now, do you ever see a situation or a possibility of the big commerces, the Shopifys, the Magentos coming kind of up with their own, I guess, centralized product app on your phone? You ever?
Yeah,
I mean,
there's been rumors. I mean, if anybody, in my opinion, Shopify with how big they've grown, will eventually kind of form their own marketplace. I mean, you look at the amount of users they have, it would make sense to do that. So
it would make complete and total sense to do that. And then kind of if you kind of going off the Amazon FBM model, if the FBM Prime, if they can do 2-day and you can depend on your sellers, I mean, I think that's the next logical. I mean, Amazon's downfall might be the ability of everything they've taught everybody.
Yeah.
The lessons they have taught individual sellers, and Shopify put something up, BigCommerce. I mean, I would if there was a Shopify or BigCommerce kind of app that let me search all of their product categories at one time and then have one centralized payment system.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That's that's one of the biggest hurdles of why people don't go to the marketplace is all the fees that can consume them. And then, whatever the fee structure that these shopping carts come up with. And I believe Shopify does some sort of fulfillment already. I know Deliver was kind of helping them out. I'm not an expert when it comes to that. So, but I've seen as they may be building their own type of fulfillment centers, that could be the next iteration of their business there.
Yeah. Nice. All right. I think we covered everything. We covered a lot. So SellerActive, we have anything new on the horizon, or you guys just keep improving what you're doing right now? Because I mean, I'm sure it's hard to keep up with all the different changes. Anything new on the horizon for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we're the big thing is rolling out the free trial here, and before the end of the month. That's something we've been wanting to get out for a while, and it's kind of a more intuitive self-service model. So we've put a ton of time, effort into the design, the UI, the UX there to make it a great experience for our sellers. That's been the big project. Then, I think marketplace.
When is that going to be live?
It's hopefully before the end of the month here. So that's going to give sellers a 30-day just kind of test period to make sure it's a good fit. So that should be out here before the end of the month or by the latest next month.
Yeah, give us a link. We'll put it on our blog. So we'll link to that for you.
Yeah.
And, if somebody wants to go ahead and sign up for SellerActive, where do we contact you? How do we get started?
Yeah. Well, I can leave you guys my sales@selleractive.com email, my personal email. They can call us, go to the website, request a demo. So
what's
all
the
that
phone number?
It's 800
555-7385.
545-7385.
545. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on your website too. All right. So we can call you, send you an email. That was sales@SellerActive.com.
Yep.
All right. And then the website is SellerActive.com. Go check it out. And there's they even have a nice little chat function there that you can hop on there. And if you can't talk to somebody, I'm sure they'll send you a nice email. So, all right. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian.
All right. Thank you for joining us on the Shipper's Toolbox. If you have any questions, visit our website, refundretriever.com. Feel free to reach out to us, 800-441-8085 for anything related to your FedEx or UPS invoices. Have a great day.